Welcome to the BCM Podcast. I am your host, Michael Searle, here with my friends and co-hosts of the show, Brad, the barista Swail, and Charles, the champion of Houstonians, Blain.
Thank you.
Why am I the barista?
Because you're dressed like
What
one?
I'm not dressed like a barista.
Because you spilled coffee on your computer.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm doing this from my phone. Thank you for informing the audience. I appreciate it.
The audience. Brad spilled coffee on his phone while he's making a latte.
Computer.
And so he's computer. So now he's on his phone. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Doing good.
Great.
I think I'm getting sick, which is annoying. Everyone keeps talking about this flu. I have like 104, 105 fever, but for some reason they're not going to the hospital. And now I'm starting to get a little something in my nose, and I don't know. I don't like it.
No. The carnivore diet didn't save you?
Hey, what's that on my ceiling, Charles?
A TV.
That's right, because that's how I watch TV on my ceiling.
Apparently, weirdo.
No, I have a remote that brings the TV down to be viewed. Oh.
That's interesting.
All right. You jokesters. Let's get to the show. We got a lot to get to. I threw out a huge topic list today, so we're gonna power through, I think. Or, we'll get to some and we won't get to others. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know if we'll have enough time. What movie is that from? But before we get to the show, do the thing. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends, your family, your moms, your dads. Share it.
Do it. Win a hat.
You guys don't know what movie that is from?
Is there enough time?
No.
Like, can you give us a little bit more context?
Old school. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
All right, the first topic of the day. Which one do I want to choose? Want to choose? Okay, from CBS News, Marc Fogel, an American school teacher who has been held in Russia since 2021, arrived back on U.S. soil late Tuesday night after the White House announced earlier in the day it had negotiated his release. Fogel, for those that don't know, he was arrested in 2021 carrying 17 grams of marijuana. That's like, I don't know, almost a half pound. According to reports, his release was negotiated in exchange for a Russian prisoner in the U.S. Mike Waltz, President Trump's national security advisor, made some comment. I'm not going to read it. But then, as we were preparing to talk about this, Trump puts out this huge post on Truth Social. Apparently, he had a lengthy and highly productive phone call with Vladimir Putin, and they discussed bringing the war to an end. And there's some other interesting things I want to get into there. But first, Brad, is this a big deal? Are we going to stop spending our tax dollars on this pointless and tragic war in Ukraine? And is the grift of the military industrial complex over?
No, we're going to get the Riviera of the Middle East and Gaza, and then we're going to get the Riviera of the breadbasket in Ukraine, and it's going to be our job to clean it up. I don't know. I mean, I doubt that our treasury is going to stop sending money over there. I'm sure that we're going to keep sending some money. My freeze? No, okay. I think we're still going to be sending money over there. It'll probably be under the guise of cleaning it up and whatever. But I think the war's going to be done. I think that Putin's probably going to get what he wants, a lot more than he would have gotten had they done this, a year ago or when this started. When what's his name for Britain stopped it from happening, and
Tony Blair.
Yeah, well, was it Tony Blair? It was the fat dude.
Boris Johnson? Boris Johnson.
No, I don't think it was Boris Johnson, but whatever. Maybe it was. And we're gonna get. He's gonna get more, and the left is gonna try to play it off as Trump is backing down to Putin and he's Putin's puppet, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, he's stopping Ukrainians from getting killed, and isn't that just a good thing?
I think so. Charles, you're a little bit more normie on the foreign policy stuff. How's this sounding to you?
A little bit normie? He's the most normie.
Well,
True.
I thought we were talking about Mark Folgers and his return to the United States of America, but finally,
Well, you could no. I mean, I'm interested to hear about what you think about the release of that stoner teacher.
Well, I do think that when you break the law, you should have to deal with the repercussions of it, and I don't agree with the United States stepping in to. Why do you look so?
This is shocking. Go on.
This is not.
Okay.
This is way more. This is like neocon, Charles.
I'm kidding. No. Okay, here's where I'm split on the issue. I mean, I think, of course, like it's the punishment far outweighed the crime, all that jazz. Obviously, he was held in horrible circumstances, all that stuff. But I just question he has pretty much the same charge that Brittany Griner did. Like they essentially did the same thing, kind of. Yeah. And when you look at the previous administration, there was a deep urgency to get Brittany Griner released, which I didn't disagree with. And there wasn't the same urgency with him, and he had the same crime, and I believe he was in there longer than she was. And then on the flip side, you had a lot of folks who were criticizing the attempts to get Brittany Griner out, saying, well, she broke the law. How dare she, blah, 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 and who are now cheering on President Trump, who did the same thing. And so I just hate the hypocrisy on both sides. I don't know what Brad is doing. I don't know.
Me neither.
Can he even hear us? I don't know.
Making coffee.
But yeah, I do find that really interesting, the hypocrisy on both sides. But no, I think he should definitely have been out half an ounce or half a pound, whatever, of weed. From my understanding, it was medical marijuana that he had been approved in the United States for. He's stupid enough to fly to Russia with it. But nonetheless, I mean, it's not crack. And so, so here we are. So I'm glad that he's out.
Yeah, did I say half a pound? No, half an ounce. Or wait, an ounce is 16. Or wait. Oh,
a pint's a pound like around, and 16 ounces are in a pint. Or a pound.
How much is a pound?
16 ounces.
2.5 ounce? Okay. Well, he had a lot of weed.
16 liquid ounces equals 1 cup. No.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not good.
No, I think it's 8. But suffice it to say, he had a lot of weed in Russia, and he got arrested, and they negotiated his release. I think President Trump promised his family that they would. And I mean, I'm for it. But when I saw the news last night kind of breaking on his return, I was like, oh, this could mean we're starting negotiations with Putin. And one thing that stuck out to me in Trump's statement, and I'm interested to hear what you guys think. He said, quote, "We both reflected on the great history of our nations and the fact that we fought so successfully together in World War II. We each talked about the strengths of our respective nations and the great benefit that we will someday have working together." Are you good with the U.S. government working with Russia?
I mean, I guess it depends on the circumstance, but I mean, it's better to work with than to sit here and fight people all the time, but like work with how closely, work with on what issues, work with on doing something like getting Marc Fogel, how do you say his last name? Fogel back.
Fogel,
okay, I understand that. Work with them to, go and take over the rest of the world? Probably not.
Oh, didn't Brittany Griner, isn't that what she got arrested in Russia for, having a little bit of weed?
Yeah, that's what I was saying when before, was that it's interesting. The hypocrisy is interesting on that issue.
I mean, I don't know, like, Brittany Griner is annoying and most definitely a man, but this Mark, you roll your eyes, but that's a dude. Marc Fogel, I mean, I'm like, look, you're in another country, you're breaking their laws. Like, it's probably better to not travel internationally with marijuana on your persons, even if it's a prescription from the United States. But still, if you get caught in another country with marijuana, yeah, I would kind of want my government to, step in and be like, hey, it's one of our guys, we'll take care of it. Just hand him over, we'll revoke his passport or whatever the fuck. They don't need to be in a Russian prison. Like, I would want my government to step in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too if it was me. And if I was stuck in a penal colony for however long. Yeah, I think anybody would. But I would want them to. And I think the U.S. has stepped in many instances, like even with like the Amanda Knox, like, which is far, far more. I mean, she didn't do it allegedly, but far more extreme than having a little bit of weed on you. So yes, whenever you're in a foreign nation, you always expect your country to step in and assist you. But at the same time, yes, you should also just obey foreign laws.
Did you roll your eyes because you don't think that Brittany Griner is a man?
I didn't roll my eyes.
You definitely rolled your eyes.
Are we going to be having a Becoming Britney series coming out soon from Brad Swail?
No, because everyone knows that Britney's a man, and this is not French politiques. This is just WNBA.
Yeah, or NBA.
Mba.
I'm down the rabbit hole on that one too. So, but not talking
Brigitte?
about it.
No, that's definitely her nephew. Or something. I don't understand
so
what's happening.
I think for once Brad is sane, and he doesn't think Brigitte Macaroon is a man, right?
No, Brigitte is a man.
He definitely thinks that she's a man.
I thought you just said he was her nephew.
No, you gotta watch the series.
Emmanuel Macron is probably her nephew from her brother.
That she married?
Hey man, I'm not the French president. You don't need to come at me. I'm just telling you what's probably true, allegedly.
Okay,
yeah.
Charles,
you gotta watch the series. It's pretty compelling.
Is it
pretty compelling? Yeah,
it
is.
Yes, it's extremely compelling.
It's very compelling. It's weird. It's very weird. And I think we'll probably get some answers on that. But you can believe the official story here too. Because they always tell us the truth so often.
Yeah. The New York Times, I think, recently had a piece that Charles read that says that Brigitte's definitely a woman. So,
well, yeah, she's definitely a woman. That's what the New York Times said. Well, I hope that this signifies some sort of end to this stupid freaking war that we should have ended 3 years ago or whenever it started. That would be awesome. Are we going to stop spending money there? I don't know, but hopefully people will stop dying. That's probably priority number one. Moving on though. All right, what do we got next? Musk and Doge. Okay, Musk and his team of tech wizards, they got like a lead foot on the Doge pedal, and Democrats are losing their freaking minds, calling it what are they saying, constitutional crisis. Last week we had USAID, and then this week the list of things that they announced this week is crazy. So what do we got? Musk says he's going to investigate how these public servants have made multi-million-dollar fortunes off their positions. Dr. Ron Paul is going to lead an effort to audit the Federal Reserve.
Is that official? Or is that just like people online are saying, do that?
I think it's official.
I mean, that's got to be like Ron Paul sailing off into the sunset, doing the one thing that he's been dying to do his entire life.
Uh-huh.
What a dream come true.
It's wonderful. And then he found that FEMA was spending money to house illegal immigrants in hotels, $50 million to buy condoms, DEI programs funded out of the Department of Education. And then he called what he says is the criminal abuse of the U.S. entitlement programs is going to be the biggest fraud in U.S. history. That's a lot. Other than Ron Paul auditing the Fed, what's your favorite on the list?
My personal favorite was none of the ones you just mentioned. It was actually the Iron Mountain. Did you guys see the Iron Mountain thing?
Yeah.
Oh, the IRS
crazy.
one?
No, it's
the
Iron
Mountain, which
is.
No. I mean, it's the mountain where they keep all the records.
Yeah, for pensions and retirees.
Yes, yeah, but it's more so about where they're storing them more than it's about the content of what they're storing. But the Iron Mountain, it's a mountain in Pennsylvania. It's an old mine that not an old mine. It's a current mine that they house. Why is he laughing? Oh, did I freeze? Where they house government records of the retirees. And so apparently, according to what was released, they have to limit the number of federal retirees to roughly 10,000 per month because that is how much paperwork they can actually process to put in this old limestone mine in Pennsylvania called Iron Mountain, which is also the name of the paper company that destroys documents which is just kind of a weird coincidence, I guess. I don't know. But it's interesting. And I didn't realize that we actually just housed all these actual government documents in a old mountain.
It's pretty crazy.
On paper.
On paper.
Old school way.
Paper in manila envelopes.
It's like 700 people work there full time to process like all this paper every single day, and truckloads of paper come every single day. It's the weirdest shit possible.
It is.
Are we surprised?
I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that it's in a mine. Like, that's weird. I wouldn't have guessed that. That's not a limestone. Why are we doing that in a limestone? Why isn't there like an office building in, fucking DC somewhere?
Yeah, and like, why are we putting? And like, I also get why we don't want to digitize everything, but like at the same time, because somebody was like, well, look, we have no use for floppy disks and CDs anymore. So, you digitize stuff, you're not going to be able to access it later. But I think nowadays we're at a point where you can digitize stuff and we're going to be able to access it for the rest of, human existence because we can just put it online or something. And the mode in which we store information isn't changing as rapidly as the way it was, like going from floppy disk to CD to stuff. But to put it in a mine, like I'm just kind of dumbfounded by it.
Yeah, it's like the seed vault, but with people's retirement papers. It's weird. What was it? Well, first off, Elon Musk bringing his kid to the Oval Office.
Weird.
I mean, I'm all for bringing your kids places, but there's a time and a place. He's not, you're not doing a campaign rally like where that's, put the kid off camera or whatever you need to do. And of course, Ron Paul auditing the Fed is fucking awesome. I can't believe that that's happening. I can't believe that Ron Paul's doing it. I don't believe that Ron Paul's doing it until it actually happens. I think he's probably going to die of a heart attack before that happens, just out of excitement. I mean, 2008, the Revolution, 2012, audit the Fed, all this shit, like, really got so many people. I mean, without Ron Paul, you wouldn't have Donald Trump, for sure.
Correct.
100%. So that's great. I love that for him, and I hope that he passes away peacefully with a smile on his face when it's done.
Yeah, he's getting up there in age. But the Trump and Musk, I think they've tapped into popular sentiment. So maybe it's not official that Ron Paul's out in the Fed, but they know that they're going to energize those Ron Paulians from 2008, 2012. At least two of them are on the call, are on the show today, who are going to get excited about this. So that one's my obvious favorite. I'm, of course, interested to see what he's able to dig up on how all these Nancy Pelosi's of the world are making all that money. Maybe that will be in the Epstein files.
That's the one that I don't know that one's going to be as big as people are hoping that it'll be. Right? Because I think he used the explanation of, like, these people have 100,000, like, six-figure salaries or whatever, but they're worth several million.
Yep.
I mean, if you're in that job for a long time and you have some, like, a decent portfolio of investing, like, you could be worth several $1 million. Is that right or wrong? I don't know, but it's not like they're getting paid directly from USAID. Maybe they are.
Are they not?
Maybe they are. I don't know. But I think what good would come from it is maybe people will start to wake up more to the insider trading that happens in Congress.
I hear you, but there are some outlier cases that it's like, wait, you're worth what? Hundreds of millions of dollars, and
hundreds of millions. A bureaucrat other than Anthony Fauci?
Nancy Pelosi.
Well, she's not a career bureaucrat. She's an elected representative.
But she makes $150,000-$200,000. So how does she have hundreds of millions?
I thought he was going after just the bureaucrats, not the elected.
Mm-mm.
No, I think it's more focused on the elected officials because it's Congress members that are doing the trading and making millions and millions of dollars while only making $200,000 a year. So I think go
ahead.
No, I was going to say, so I think he's talking about more elected officials than bureaucrats, but probably including bureaucrats in that too.
Well, my portfolio mirrors Nancy Pelosi, so I'd appreciate it if you would back off just for a little while.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to get super excited about Doge, but everything they do it's been pretty good so far. And didn't they report just a couple days ago that the Clinton Foundation had received a big old chunk of money from USAID? I think we're going to find stuff like that. I think that they're going to find stuff like direct payments to Nancy Pelosi's foundation or whatever, if they really dig in. I think the level of corruption that exists in our federal government is immense. And if they're serious about looking at it, we're going to find some crazy stuff.
I don't disagree that the level of corruption exists, but I don't think we're going to find it. Like, I think I don't want to give them too much credit because they're not that smart, but I think they're smarter. Like, I think it goes from shell company to shell company to shell company, like, and you get to it at some point, and like maybe these 19-year-olds are going to sniff it out. I don't know, but I don't disagree there. I think they're just better at hiding it.
Charles, are you one of those people online that's mad that 19, 20, 21-year-olds are destroying the bureaucracy? Like, you're mad about their age?
No, but I just think that at 19, like, you don't have as much experience snuffing this stuff out as, say, like a 30-year-old who also does this stuff. So, like, I think with age comes experience. So I have no problem with them doing it. Do I think they're going to be able to track it back the way to be able to expose it in the way that we all would hope? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's the 30-year-olds that I look to for wisdom. That's true.
I'm not saying, all I'm saying is with age comes experience. That's
and 30 is a great number. That's what we all look for that's the age for wisdom, 30.
I don't know. I'm a little more optimistic about this. I think we're going to get some people.
Oh, well, I'm optimistic.
We haven't discovered anything yet. Like anything like straight up like what you're talking about. Like, we've discovered other things, yes, the payments to Politico and stuff like that. But like to the point where like they're exposing these government bureaucrats or government elected officials, they haven't given me anything yet.
Here's the thing, though. Everything's going so fast that like we didn't even have time to sit and absorb. We talked about it last week, but we didn't have time to sit and absorb what the implications of USAID giving a ton of money to Politico and the New York Times is. What is that? That's an operation. It's not just like, we like what you're doing, so here's some money. It's an operation intended for a specific purpose. And because we're moving so fast that we don't really get that understanding of what exactly is going on. That's my concern. They're going to be like this, find these grants to these organizations, and we're not going to dig into who that's going to, because we're going to be moving on to the next thing so quickly. Mm-hmm. But like the Politico thing, like I said last week, it's Operation Mockingbird. They're doing it to influence what the media reports on and what they don't. And we've moved on from USAID.
That's not even how birds fly, but okay.
How does your bird fly? The wings didn't even move.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys, enough on Doge for now?
For now. We'll have more next week, I'm sure.
Real quick, though, has it exceeded your expectations, or has it because when we first talked about Doge, when it was conceptual, we were both I remember us all being like, yeah, they're probably not going to do anything. So has it exceeded expectations so far?
Not exceeded.
Yeah.
Met.
It's knocking on the door.
I think it's definitely exceeded expectations. I don't think anybody expected the USAID, just as an example, to like blow the lid off of, a new age project Mockingbird, where the government is literally paying the news organizations to, presumably to report negatively on those that question the regime, right? That's not something that anybody expected. And a lot of people have talked about that. Like, Michael, I know it's moving really fast, but people are absorbing this. All of the fucking AIDS money that's going out the door, all of the money.
USAID just cut Brad off.
They probably did. I would say it's knocked on the door of expectations for me. We all knew this stuff existed. In what form, we didn't know, and we're now finding things out. But I haven't seen anything so far that's like knocked my eyebrows off, right? Like it's crazy, it's nuts, yes, but like we know this exists. Like, this is why we are critics of government. This is why we are on the side of the political spectrum we are, because we know this stuff exists, and we root it out. We've seen things like this on the local level, the state level. Like, we've all worked on different things, maybe not to this degree, but we know this stuff exists. And so it hasn't knocked my eyebrows off, but it's certainly it's knocked on the door of expectations, and I expect it to exceed at some point.
I think the level of specificity is taking it to a different level. Yes, we argue that there's a ton of waste, fraud, and abuse in government, but to get specifics like we're getting right now, I think it's pretty shocking. And I think they've just started. So
I think
whether Congress will do anything about it or not, I don't know. Will they stop allocating $50 million for condoms in some random country? I don't know, but $50 million for condoms, that's a shitload of condoms.
They need that many. They need to allocate that to Harris County. That's for sure.
I wonder what that breaks down. Because they didn't tell us how many individual condoms. I'm curious what that cost per condom is.
I think I read somewhere they were doing like a nickel per condom or something like that.
Oh, that's cheap.
They're getting bulk pricing. It's they got like the Costco. They're going to Costco to get condoms. Okay, Mike, it's not funny.
No, I mean I'm trying to think if that's. Yeah. Well,
where are you getting a nickel condom at? Like, let's be serious. Where are you getting anything for a nickel anymore?
Probably some neighborhood that's extremely dense and like lacking single family homes.
No, because the machines in those bathrooms still charge you $0.25.
The machines in the bathrooms? You're helping my argument.
All right. Moving on from Doge. We'll keep talking about Doge for sure. Okay, Kendrick Lamar and Drake got beef. Charles, tell me what's going on. Everybody's talking about whatever he did at the Super Bowl halftime show. I didn't watch it because I never do. You did, and were texting us about it. So tell me what's going on with Kendrick Lamar and the pedophile Drake.
Whoa, allegedly.
Allegedly.
This show is over. So this beef goes back to 2013. It started with subliminal comments and a Kendrick Lamar song called Control. Then on a different song and skip 10 years, 2023, it's a song called First Person Shooter. Drake and J. Cole were together. J. Cole references him, Drake, and Kendrick as kind of the big three. Kendrick Lamar fires back, says, no, it's not the big three, it's just me. And so it's been back and forth. Then it heated up really last year with kind of a series of back and forth songs that they were releasing going directly at each other. It was like 9 songs with wild allegations between them. And it just escalated and escalated and escalated. They were calling out each other's, baby mamas and talking about how Kendrick talks about how Drake's a culture vulture and all this stuff. Anyway, so the big song in all of this was Not Like Us. And Not Like Us, it's a song. I mean, the root of the song is kind of attacking Drake's presence in the culture and how he uses the culture to boost himself up, but he's not really a part of the culture, if you will. And it was a huge thing. He came out with it. Everybody was singing it. Then he had a concert in Compton. And this was a while back, had a concert in Compton, played the song like 10 times, and everybody just kept singing it over and over and over song. And like the big part of it is he goes, he calls him a pedophile. And there's a part of the song where he goes, if you're a girl that Drake likes, keep your little sister from him. And then he fast forward, he goes as far as like A minor, and everybody screams at A minor when they're singing the song. And Drake's
he tries to strike a chord, but it's not an A. I bet it's A minor.
Yes, but it's a play on words. He's talking about
A
minor.
It. We all know it's a play on words.
So fast forward to the Grammys the week before the Super Bowl. Kendrick wins. I don't know how many Grammys he wins, but I mean, it was a huge night for him. Wins all these awards. Then a week later, he has his Super Bowl performance, and it was already a big deal that he had the Super Bowl performance. Jay-Z picks who's performing at the Super Bowl. Jay-Z could have picked Lil Wayne because it was in New Orleans. Lil Wayne is a part of Young Money, Cash Money, which is a part of Drake, what Drake is a part of. He picked Kendrick during this year of this big beef, which shows he sided with him. He performs the song and it's just huge. I mean, the whole crowd sings the A minor part. He has SZA performing with him. SZA hooked up with Drake. That was a big deal. The biggest deal, though, like the biggest part of this was when he was rapping. And they're like doing the recording of it, and they have Serena Williams on a platform doing the Crip Walk, and it's like it's like crazy. Like it's hard to explain how crazy that moment was because Serena Williams and Drake dated. He then took all these shots at her in different songs and stuff. And a big part of the complaints about him is that he's always taking shots at women and never going after the guys. And there she is. She's Crip walking to this song, and it's just wild, and everybody loses their freaking minds. It was absolutely nuts. So yeah, I mean, and then at the end of the concert, you see, or not concert, at the end of the halftime show, in the crowd, he has like these like lights light up and it says game over, and it's essentially just like game over, like I win, this is it, I won. And it was a big deal because Drake is suing the record label, saying that they promoted the song, which called him a pedophile, and there was a big question about whether or not Kendrick was going to perform that specific song at the Super Bowl because it opened the NFL and Fox up to liability because of the legality of it and the accusations. And he teased it in the beginning. He's like, I want to sing this song, but they like to sue, and everybody's like, oh, I guess he's not going to sing it. And then the beat drops and everybody's just like, oh my God. And then Serena. And so it was just a wild night. It was truly wild.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah. It was a big night for the culture.
Why? What culture?
Do they not like Drake because he's a light-skinned brother?
A yellow bone.
The problem with, I don't personally have an issue with Drake. The problem that a lot of them have with Drake is that he will, one, take shots at women and not take shots at guys. Two, he will go and lean on these artists from places like Houston and Atlanta and other places and kind of be in the culture and then be one step out of the culture and then be in the culture and one step out of the culture. And then they also just come at him because they don't think he's like really a rapper, which he is. I mean, Drake's a good rapper. And so and yes, because he's half white too. That's
so. All right. You keep saying the culture. What is the culture? Is it black culture, black American culture, rap culture?
Black culture, hip hop culture. It's a combination of both. Kendrick's performance had a lot of black culture wrapped into it. There was a lot of Uncle Sam references, American history. It was a lot. But yeah, black culture and hip hop culture.
Why is Jay-Z picking who's playing at the halftime?
So during the COVID era, George Floyd era, Jay-Z partnered with the NFL to become like its creative director or something like that. So he picks a lot of the musical acts that not just the Super Bowl in general. He kind of directs a lot of the cultural aspect of things with the NFL. And so he picked the first one he picked, I think, when he came on was when Jennifer Lopez and Shakira did the Super Bowl together in Miami. I think that was the first one. And so he picks who they are. I mean, it's not like a unilateral decision, but you know.
Yeah, he's not gonna pick you, for instance. Or if he did,
next year he's picking Miley Cyrus.
What?
I said the rumor is next year it's going to be Miley Cyrus.
That rumor mill is starting way early. There's no way that there's any truth to that. Miley Cyrus? Like, what has she done in the past 3 years?
She, I think, dropped 2 albums. Like, what do you mean?
No one knows who that is anymore. All right, I have a question for you. Why is is there beef in other? It seems like beef is like really unique to rap music. Why?
Taylor Swift, Toby Keith.
Huh?
Dixie Chicks, Toby Keith.
Okay, I'm not saying that it never happens. Thank you for that one anecdote, Michael. I appreciate that.
Garth Brooks
and Chris Gaines. What is the? I know that's the joke. Why is that so common in rap? And not other, and maybe it happens a lot in country, and I just don't fucking know. Maybe Beyonce is beefing with all of country music right now because she won their title.
Well, Beyonce's not beefing with all of country music. All of country music is beefing with Beyonce. But yes, that is happening. But the reason
she won a country award for a decidedly not country album.
Who decides what country is? Like that's her point of the album is like who decides what country.
Oh, you can't do that.
But why is it so prevalent in rap music? I think it's prevalent in rap music because you have, so I think for a lot of country artists, I'm not going to say they all come from the same place because they don't, but like there's a conglomeration of them that come out of like Nashville, and like there are a couple other places that they come out of, but like when you look at a lot of rap music, they typically come from not warring, but like are fighting cities, or if you will. So like it's Miami, it's Bronx, it's Brooklyn, it's LA, it's specifically Compton maybe, or even if you're at the Bay, like San Francisco. So like you're coming from these places that already have issues with these other places. And then when you come up, you kind of take on the persona of your city and you get pulled into a fight that might not even be yours, right? So if you were during the Biggie and Tupac era, if you're a rapper from New York, you're automatically in this East Coast, West Coast fight without even wanting to be. And so I think
wasn't that gang related?
I mean, there was a lot that partially, but there's a lot that went into that. Yeah.
Is it?
But I mean, that was a different era. I don't know.
Is it possible that this whole thing is contrived?
Not this. I mean, you don't call somebody a pedophile. Like, there's no benefit to Drake to being called a pedophile, to agreeing to be being called a pedophile. And like, here's the other thing: there's accusations of Drake liking young girls, and so like it feeds into that, and that's part of the problem too.
Well, we know that is endemic in the entertainment industry, so that doesn't surprise me. But I mean, we got Diddy in jail for something like that right now. I don't know which side of the fight Diddy's on.
This one, I don't think he's on any of them. I mean, people would probably say he's on the fight. He's on Drake's side. That's probably what people would say.
The pedos are on the same side, or the alleged pedos are on the same side. But it dawned on me that they could be trying to replicate the '90s beef between the East Coast, West Coast that elevated those artists as two of the greatest rappers of all time, and part of that was driven by all the coverage of their beef. And so I don't know the issue well enough like you do, so I just thought I would ask, like, is it part of it at least a show?
Well, sure. I mean, I think UMG and like the record labels are loving it. They want more of it, but I do think that the accusations are kind of really deep. Like they're like really deep. Like Drake called out Kendrick, said Kendrick like abused his wife. Like, I mean, these are like really like crazy and wild. And then like, because Drake accused Kendrick of beating his wife, then Kendrick had his wife, who was kind of his ex-wife at the time, in the Not Like Us music video doing the like dancing. So like it's a little, it could be part of the same thing, but it is deeply personal, especially given the accusations in the past of Drake and quote unquote young girls and things like that.
And didn't Tupac say he banged Biggie's wife, or the other way around? Sure did. That would be in
was
Hit 'Em
Tupac,
Up.
Was Tupac gay?
Not that he said.
But there isn't that also like something that people they talk about, like a rumor, like that he was gay?
People have speculated.
People have speculated. Wasn't he like Paula Abdul's backup dancer?
That I don't know. You know more about that than I don't know. I've never heard that part of it. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Well, all right.
Part of it's because he went to an art school in Baltimore, which is where how he knew Will Smith.
He's definitely that's the all right. You're done. He is for sure. He went to an art school. I only thought of that because you brought up all the beefs that different cities have, and if someone came from the Bay Area, San Francisco, and that made me think like, who are the gay rappers? What are their names?
Saucy Santana.
Saucy Santana?
Have you never heard of Saucy Santana?
No, but now I'm on like a Wikipedia page, and there's something called Homo Hop. And I guess there's a group called Rainbow Flava.
Okay, that's not real.
I'm looking at Wikipedia.
No,
it has to be real
in the sense that like they're not real rappers. Like maybe they might be. I don't know, but like they're
so
not.
Who's Saucy Santana?
Saucy Santana is a rapper out of Miami who is a rapper.
Is he like flaming gay?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Michael knows him too. Okay,
because he's like actually like he's famous. Like he's not like the ones you just mentioned. Like people know who he is. He had like one or two really popular songs.
Saucy Santana. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's serious about his sexual orientation.
There's a LGBT hip hop group from Oakland, California called Deep Dick Elective.
All right, well, like actual so.
All right, we're moving on.
All right,
are we done with? That's interesting though. I had no idea what was all this going on. So Kendrick's going to win. Drake's on the downslide. He's going to get caught up in the Diddy files, and Kendrick wins. Game over. Game over. All right.
I forget that Kendrick Lamar also won like a Nobel Prize or whatever, right? Or Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
You guys want? That's kind of boring. Let's not do that one because we're running out of time. Okay. CNN reporting the Senate voted Wednesday to confirm former Democratic Rep Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence, a major win for President Donald Trump, as Gabbard had been among the most controversial of his picks. You guys know which Republican voted no?
Murkowski.
Nope.
McConnell.
Yeah, boy. Mitch McConnell, 52-48. McConnell was the only no vote from the Republicans. She is now Director of National Intelligence. Brad, are you excited?
I don't know. I mean, yes, in theory, of course, I would be excited about Tulsi Gabbard being the Director of National Intelligence. I think that's a great pick. She seems like an honest person. You know, I hope that she follows through on everyone's greatest fears that she will destroy the CIA and FBI and like release all the files and we'll know everything. I hope that people that are afraid of that are correct and she does that stuff. But I also kind of fear that maybe there's like backdoor dealings going on, like saying, all right, we're going to give you Tulsi Gabbard, but we're not going to give you RFK.
Well, I think aren't they both advancing pretty well though?
The RFK is going on right now. Tulsi, they tried to extend debate for 30 hours, but for some reason the Republicans stopped it and she went through in a couple hours of testimony. RFK is in the heat of it right now, and the Democrats are badgering him. They're trying to extend it as long as possible. It's still going on.
Oh, he's in a hearing answering questions?
No, Senate floor. Senate floor vote. Yeah, to confirm.
Is there any, or how many, what's the over-under on the number of ALPs that he pushes?
2 cans.
2 cans in one day? Fuck. Holy
He's
shit.
got one in both cheeks right now. He's hitting it hard. So I don't know what we're recording at, like 3:50 on Wednesday. So he hasn't been confirmed yet. I think he's going to get through. And I think, Tulsi got through. I think he's going to get through. And I think Cash is going to get through. I think that Trump and Elon worked their magic behind the scenes and twisted enough arms, maybe made some concessions on some things to get them through because he wants his team there. But we'll see on RFK.
Yeah.
Charles, are you worried he's going to that Tulsi's going to dismantle the National Security Agency?
No, you know what? I honestly just am not. I actually do hope they both get confirmed, but I just not. It's not my issue, and so I don't like really. I would care if they did not get confirmed, but I'm not like dying sitting here watching it on a regularly, trying to refreshing and seeing what happens because it's just not my issue. But I hope they get confirmed.
Well, the importance of it for me is like that, and we'll talk about this next. Is all the files that are going to be released? Most of them are going to have to go through her office, right? So having somebody with some integrity and some honesty at the head of Director of National Intelligence seems to be a pretty big win for declassifying the government secrets.
Charles, would you be more excited if it was like Lloyd Austin or Mark Milley?
That's kind of the other thing. Like, it's a bit shocking who is getting nominated to these positions compared to what we're used to. Yeah, like a Tulsi Gabbard and an RFK is a pretty significant departure from the way we have done things in the past, which people don't like, which is why we are where we are.
Democrats.
It's a huge departure from Trump's first term.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. I think it is.
Where's John Bolton? What is he like? What is he doing? What does Max Boot think about all of this?
He took his security clearance.
I know. Has anybody checked the obituaries lately? The unexpected?
That's crazy.
John Bolton. Good riddance, John Bolton. We've had enough of you. Okay. So let's talk about the declassification. So Charles was asking about this at the beginning of the show. What's up with the JFK files? So under his executive order, he said, bring me a plan in 15 days, which was Friday, if anybody's counting, of how you're going to declassify all of these documents. That was the executive order. So the plan has, as of today, has not been delivered. And so Congress decided they're going to appoint this commission headed by Anna Paulina Luna, the hottest congresswoman that's ever existed, led by her to, I don't know. I hear the people who some people on the D-class train are like, that commission is going to hold the agencies accountable, make sure they're actually bringing forward all the documents. My initial reaction to it was like, we don't need another fucking commission. We've done the commission thing. Like, we just put the documents out there in the world. Let all the JFK crazies get on those documents, find out what they're in them, and then tell us all what's going on. But there is something to, we think about this files thing, and it's like, they're not all just sitting in a box somewhere. They're like spread around the government in a bunch of different agencies, and they're all going to try to obstruct their release. So is it a good idea to have some sort of commission or group of people who are kind of watchdogging this? Maybe I could get it for that reason. So I don't know. What was your guys' initial reaction to it?
I'm tired of government commissions. Just put the stuff out there. Spare me. Like, these government, we need a commission on commissions so that we can get a commission to commission what we need to commission. Like, I'm just tired of it all.
I hear you. I hear you. But let's say, okay, the CIA brings forward 25% of what they have, and they redact a bunch of stuff, and Department of Energy and the DOD, and they don't bring anything forward. And Trump's like, okay, here are all the remaining documents, and I'm going to put them out there, but we don't get all the other stuff. Like, so that's the point of the commission, according to Roger Stone, at least.
You're the president. Walk in there, pick the box up, and scan them with your iPhone outside on the front porch and tweet them. This is the thing that just frustrates me. It's like, you have the power to do so. We have seen administrations violate the law, violate judges' orders. Not this administration. I'm talking about just administrations as a whole. Do what they want to do, and if you want this information out there, you can put this information out there.
But how does he get it? He's relying on the agencies to deliver it to him.
Walk in there with your team of Secret Service and say, if anybody dares step in my way, you are going to jail.
And they'd be
you
like,
are an enemy of the United States of America because you are rejecting a lawful order from the President of the United States of America. Like, this is what I want. This is what would excite me. This is the thing. You guys like these conspiracy theories and stuff. What would excite me is when people like exert force. Like, go and do it. You are the President of the United States. Put handcuffs on you. Go and get it and do it.
Hell yeah.
Charles likes when people exert force. I hope people are taking notes.
But like, seriously, why? Like, you're the president. Go do it yourself. Go shut it down. Stop.
I agree with you. I just don't think that they're going to turn him over willingly. And I don't know. He's not going to be like, I know they're in file cabinet in Iron Mountain. They're in row 7, shelf 4, section D. Like, he doesn't know where the documents are. So he's relying on the Tulsis of the world, the Anna Paulina Lunas, the people that he's putting in these positions to deliver the documents.
Well,
and
if you don't
not
know where
just
they are,
on,
I can guarantee you Anna Paulina Luna doesn't know where they are.
True. But she can go hunt.
Yeah,
he's got a bunch of other stuff. He's got a bunch of other stuff going on. She's going to be in charge of hunting these things down. And I think that's at least what I heard.
If Anna Paulina Luna is hunting for JFK files, I definitely have a few.
They're all in Brad's house.
I have so many, and I need help finding them. Please come over.
That was the other thing interesting in her press conference. She announced not just JFK, but RFK, MLK, Epstein, UFOs, COVID origins, and Charles's favorite, 9/11.
Oh man, well, we're gonna figure out how jet fuel melts solar beams, but not passports. Finally,
well, we don't really need the 9/11 one, but the rest of those I think are actually remarkable. That would be amazing if they really do that.
Has Megyn Kelly chimed in on the Epstein files? Has she approved this? Like, is she ready for her source to come out and tell us now? Is that happening?
I don't know. Glenn Beck said on Patrick Beck David's podcast yesterday that the day one Kash Patel is going to release the Epstein files. But what are the Epstein files? Are we talking about the videos that they found, or are we talking about the flight log?
Or which one are you excited about, Michael?
The videos.
Oh God, edit that part out.
Why?
You're excited about watching videos from Epstein?
No, I'm excited to see what is on those videos. Not like
you're not going to be excited to watch those.
No, like who's coming and going, like who? Okay, maybe portraits.
I don't want to watch Bill Clinton allegedly diddle a little girl, but if that's on the tapes,
you want to see Stephen Hawking and some midget girls.
So my question, like, what are the Epstein files? They keep saying they're going to release the Epstein files, but what is that?
Maybe
is it a list of names?
The file surrounding his death, the flight logs, the people who went to Epstein Isle, maybe. I don't know.
Epstein Island.
Like, certainly the CIA was tracking this guy and watching everything he did. So we're going to get all those files too on what they saw. Man, I just want sunlight on all this stuff. One, just to prove that I'm correct, but second, because I think we probably need to know. Although I think if we knew the truth, the whole thing would come crashing down.
Can you handle the truth?
I don't think it's going to come crashing down because we've seen USAID, the people. I mean, JFK. If you don't think the JFK files showing that the CIA or whoever killed the sitting president and everything not only continued on, but actually got bigger and they got more power, and you don't think that's going to send things crashing down, the Epstein files is not going to send anything crashing down.
What do you think is it? What do you think is in those files, the Epstein files?
I mean, it's probably Mossad and CIA and MI whatever the British MI6, MI5,
5 or 6, one of the two.
And the Five Eyes or whatever it is, New Zealand and Australia, and they're all colluding together to produce blackmail on everybody. And it's that sort of stuff. And yeah, we'll get names. I kind of hope that they just tell us that the videos are real and they don't show us the videos. I'm not a freak like Michael, but I think it's going to be that sort of stuff. If they're trying to destroy the CIA who tried to destroy Trump, then it kind of makes sense that he would like release files that everyone knows exist and implicates the CIA in doing really disgusting, evil things. And then there would be popular support to destroy the CIA. And he wouldn't have to lift a finger except for to just show what they did. And what are the Democrats? What is Elizabeth Warren going to do when the files come out showing that the CIA had little kids raped by celebrities and powerful people? Is she going to defend them? No.
She'll find a way to defend them.
Yeah. RFK, what are you going to do? Are you going to allow tort reform on the CIA? Are you going to allow them to tort them?
I just think it's going to implicate so many people that it's like. It's that, I don't know, crashing down, complete crashing down. When I say crashing down, I mean the trust in the institution of the U.S. government and politics is going to be gone.
I mean, you talked about Representative Anna Paulina Luna, and now you're talking about I can only get so aroused, Michael.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll move on to Bill Murray.
I'm sorry. What's your question?
We're going to move on to Bill Murray. I hope that doesn't arouse you too.
No, I went to a wedding with him a couple of years ago.
Shut up.
Yeah. Not with him. Like he wasn't my date or something, but we were at the same wedding.
Did you say hi to him?
No, he was really drunk.
Perfect.
Right.
No, he was there. I think Matt Damon was there. There was a couple other like C-listers maybe from like television shows like CIS and stuff like that. It was interesting.
You're always giving Charles a hard time for the people he knows.
I don't know these people. I guarantee you, if I knew Bill Murray, he would have already been on the show.
Whose wedding was this?
What was her name?
I don't need to know the person's name. I'm saying who was like.
Is it a friend?
What is your question?
Friend or relative?
No,
this person knows people.
It was a friend's wedding.
Okay. A friend that you don't know.
And her husband is a Hollywood producer.
Okay, see that was
she dated Bill Murray for a time.
Oh.
And then invited him to her wedding. Okay, weird.
Yeah, they remained friends. Hey, I'm not the one. I am not trying to start beefs. Okay, and get into this East Coast West Coast type thing. What people want to do with their love life, they want to do with their love life so long as it's legal and consensual.
Fair. Go ahead, Michael. Bill Murray.
You're always trying to create beefs between Houston and Austin.
Well, there is no beef to be had because Houston is a shithole.
Well, I have a funny Bill Murray story, and I also am going to reveal criminal conduct on behalf of the host of today's show. So back in the day when I was younger, 20s something, I don't know, I was at a bar with my friends and my sister, and we were drinking, and the bartender was being incredibly rude to my sister and my friend's girlfriend. And my reaction was I walked behind the bar. I took the signed Bill Murray photo that was on the wall. I took it and I walked out the door and went home with their picture as they tried to stop me. And then the next day I woke up and was like, that was bad. So I took it back. But that's the Bill Murray story. But I saw him trending in the news. What is your favorite Bill Murray role? Maybe you guys don't even like Bill Murray. I don't know.
Caddyshack.
Ooh, it's a good one.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he's a little bit. I think he's funny and stuff like that. But like the bro, like in like 2006, 7, there was a renaissance of Bill Murray, and like all like the frat guys and everyone was like really in love with Bill Murray, like having Bill Murray pictures on their walls and stuff like that. And it kind of turned me off from Bill Murray a little bit.
All he asked was what your favorite role was.
And so I'm trying to think of what my favorite role would be. I mean, I don't know.
Just pick Caddyshack like I did. I never even actually seen it.
The movie buff, Brad Swail. Thank you for your contribution. No.
He was good in that.
The only Bill Murray movie I've actually seen was Little Shop of Horrors, and I don't remember him being in it.
You've never what? Okay, well, I'm one of those frat bros who adopted the Bill Murray love. His best movie is What About Bob? No question.
Okay, Groundhog Day is a good movie.
But his best role.
I saw that.
Yeah, come on, Charles.
That's when the day keeps happening over and over and over again.
That's Groundhog Day, not What About Bob. What About Bob was also good. Right.
Excellent. But my favorite role is him in Kingpin.
Oh my God. I was talking about Kingpin last week. Kingpin is such a good movie.
It's a great movie. It has a great soundtrack too. Electric Light Orchestra, if you're down with that stuff.
We don't have a cow, but we got a bull. The best. The best.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And a great soundtrack.
Oh my God, Charles! If you haven't seen Kingpin, you should watch Kingpin.
You should. And when you're done with the show, Charles, listen to "Showdown" by the Electric Light Orchestra, and tell me I don't have exquisite taste in music.
Okay, I'll check it out.
you can just tell him right now, Charles, that he doesn't have exquisite taste.
All right.
Don't even bother listening to it.
Try me. All right. CPI came in hot. We don't really need to talk about it unless you guys want to.
What?
The CPI print. I had it on the list, but kind of boring.
CPI's up. I don't understand why people keep complaining about eggs being expensive. I go to HEB and they're just as expensive as they were last year.
Good way to end the show. All right, guys. Thank you for joining the show. We'll be back next week as always with a brand new episode of the BCM podcast.
I will have my computer.
Brad will not be on his phone. Before you go, like, subscribe, share the channel, or share the show with friends. If you share it on social media, we will send you a hat. See you next week.
See ya.